Are we playing this game of you are being generous and saying, I will remind you, but you can give the game to someone else. Okay, Ethan, I am going to give you another game. I don't care. Pick a month, any month but June. October it is. I guess you want a horror game. September, October. 4 choices remain. Okay. Oh, we've been to October a number of times. Okay. I give you a choice. This is an action RPG. Let's see. And by action RPG, I mean pretty damn Diablo looking. Or indie simulation. Ooh. Fantasy simulation of something you don't see simulated often. Looks pretty cool. What's it going to be, Ethan? A fantasy simulation, action RPG. Okay, sticking with the tried and true. Send me an email where I can send your code. Put it in the chat. Private message. Okay. You better claim this. Gift to a friend on Steam. Send an email. Control V. Sent. You are now the proud owner of Shadows Awakening, which looks pretty much like Diablo. Yeah. Utilize cross-realm tactics. I don't know. Explore a huge kingdom. So, okay. Okay, how y'all? I had a weekend. Did you have a weekend? I had a weekend. Okay, first things first. We have the final quiz of the course is up due Friday. And it's all transmedia storytelling because that's all we're doing from here on out. So be reading that, Andrea Phillips, and you will answer the questions easily. And our final write club of the semester, or the term. Let's go over that. Assignments. Well, actually, let's talk about this week's write club, which I got through. So common thing is remember how I said Crime Alley was an example, but not a great example, and you could do better. A lot of so here, because my objection to Crime Alley is, what city would name an alley Crime Alley, right? That's crazy. So you usually, what happens in noir is it's a homonym, and a lot of you went for puns and homonyms, and got it. It's a homonym of something else, right? So uh, so you get something like Bleakton, right? This was one, I forget if it was in this class or the other class, but Bleakton. Um, that's a perfectly reasonable name. Founded in 1790 by Josiah Bleak. Um, and everybody calls it Bleaktown, right? But it's Bleakton. Um, so you get these kind of noir nicknames that are more on the nose than the actual thing. So what are the good ones that I saw? A bar called Moonshine. I can see somebody naming their bar that. I also think it's the whole thing with noir is the shades of gray, um, the darkness to light, and we live in the light of the moon. So Moonshine. The Gunshot Cafe, um, which feels like a diner, right? Um, the Hazy Lounge. Again, I can see somebody naming their stuff, their bar that. Um, Bender Street, right? And so you've got, I can see somebody named Bender having a street named after them, but then you've got the connotations of you're on a bender. And we found the body down on the bender, right? Kind of kind of good sounding. The Alibi Inn, which is tongue in cheek. I think if I owned a motel, that would be a good name for a motel. Crimson Creek. Part of me says um, that's not great because it's on the nose. But then I think about places where the mud itself is red, or the dirt is red, and so when the creek floods, it runs red. Um, the Rusty Knife, which I don't know, the Rusty Knife probably was meant to be a bar, but I again think of diners. But then I don't I wouldn't want to eat at a place called the Rusty Knife. I don't know. Velvet Lane um, feels good. And the one person who used Spanish, and there's a fine tradition of noir based in LA and Mexico, um, where there's lots of Spanish places. So Puerto de Muerto uh, is perfectly Port of the Dead, uh, Port of Death. I don't know, but that sounds good to me. And uh, uh, noir is more than just that kind of East Coast New York thing. And some joker in the other class just put New York City, and I was like, come on, man, come on, try, right? So, um, so not bad, not uh terribly. I think it's easier than the last one. So our final one, let's see, not that. That's the reading quiz. Sorry. Right club number 6. Share screen, share. We've got a victory bark. So think in terms of JRPGs, where a teenager with an impossibly large sword fights whatever, and then when you finish the fight, when you win the fight, um, whoever struck the last blow holds up their weapon and says, "Yay!" Right? We won. Uh, um, it's like the healers will say, "I'll always be there for you." Whatever. Um, so that's the kind of bark we're looking for. A victory bark. Uh, and I say the world of Shakespeare. What does that mean? Um, well, he wrote. We just passed his birthday and his death day, which was April 23rd. So that's why I use Shakespeare here. Um, uh, so he wrote a bunch of plays. You can take from any of his plays or anything in the sonnets. Um, so assume a character from one of his plays, um, and what would be a good victory bark? Um, to be or or not. You're not to be. Hey, right. Um, I went straight there, right? Because to be or not to be, right? So um again, you want the flavor of both Shakespeare and a JRPG. Does that make sense? Does that that sound like fun? This is our last one. I wanted to make it fun. I think you can do it. In general, the right clubs have been good. Okay. Thank you, Ethan. Next, I want to talk about rabbit holes. Um, so, I'm sorry, I should have queued this up. I meant to queue it up, and I forgot to queue it up. Um, so where's my stuff? My stuff. There we go. And I want to go to not watch list, but movies. Movies. Movies I own. Purchases and rentals. Okay, so where movies? There it is. Purchases and rentals. Um, so back in the day, um, running from about I want to say 2005 to about 2010, in San Francisco, there was a long running ARG called um, the Jejune Institute. And let's see if I can queue up. I should have queued this up already. Okay. I want to play you a bit. Okay. Hold on, hold on, hold on. And I'm going to get a copyright strike when I put this on YouTube. But it just means I won't monetize it because I'm not showing the whole movie. I'm just going to show bits of it. Okay. Okay. So in San Francisco, this ARG ran for years. And it was called the Jejune Institute. And among ARG people, no one knew. So at the time, ARGs were generally marketing devices to publicize something else. So, for instance, the very first modern ARG was called The Beast. You can look it up. It was, you found it through the trailer for AI, the Steven Spielberg movie with Haley Joel Osment as a robot. Um, and in the trailer, at the end of the trailer, uh, they listed something like a robot emotional counselor, right? And his name was Ethan something or other. Um, and if you started Googling around, you could actually find this person. But since there are no robots that need emotional counseling now, what you found was all sorts of references to him. And this was actually pre-Google at the time. This was 2001. Um, you found that all his uh, mentions and his stuff was set in like 2050 or something like that. Um, and pretty soon you found out that he had disappeared. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. You're trying to find out what happened to Ethan, whatever his name was. And you're in the middle of this web of espionage and intrigue. But it was all in service of marketing that movie AI. Later, pretty much, well, there were some other ones in between, but the next major one was 2004 I Love Bees, um, which I'll show you in a bit. But it turned out it was this great story that uh, uh, there were there was an AI that had become fragmented across the internet, um, and the players had to activate nodes so that it could reassemble its own intelligence, and it all turned out to be a marketing thing for um, Halo 2. Go figure. Then, and I can show you a bunch of these, but here was the Jejun Institute in the middle of San Francisco. You'd find it any number of ways, and I'll show you a bit of how you found it. But no one, but it wasn't for anything. Like in many of these ARGs, we're just kind of saying, waiting for the shoe to drop and find out what they're trying to sell us. Um, and the Jejun Institute didn't seem to be selling us anything. So let me share this with you, and I'm gonna make it full screen, and I am gonna press play.
For some sort of invention. I think it was the Vital Orbit was the first one I saw. Didn't even pull one of the little flyers yet. It wasn't until I walked around more and more and started seeing some of the other flyers that I really started wondering what the heck this thing even was. I started grabbing some of the little tags and calling the numbers and hearing the messages.
Thank you for calling the Jejun Institute, San Francisco headquarters. We would like to invite you to a special orientation session. We are located at 580 California Street, Suite 1607. For those dark horses with the spirit to look up and see, a recondite family awaits.
I kind of didn't know what to think. I at first thought, okay, someone's making these crazy advertisements for something that's almost too impossible to even exist. And they seem to be urging me to visit this physical place. Once I got to 580 California Street, I was kind of intimidated a bit by both the locale and the building. I realized this is downtown financial district. This is a high rent district. This is a place where you have Bank of America. I walked in and asked for the Jejun Institute. The security guard seemed to know what the place was, asked for my ID, had me sign in, gave me a visitor badge, and at that point directed me to the elevators. I get out and see this very normal looking lobby, and I see the receptionist there who didn't really seem at all like anybody from the website. I wasn't really seeing the name of this company I was looking for. And the receptionist, asked me if she could help me. And I said, yeah, I'm here for the Jejune Institute. And she handed me a key, and that seemed to be that. On one side's a map. On the other side, there's instructions guiding me through the floor I'm on to some location. So I navigated the floor based on the map and the instructions and ended up at a room.
Greetings. Welcome to the Jejune Institute San Francisco Induction Center. Please enter the room and close the door behind you. Now, have a seat in the lounge chair provided for you. In a moment, our orientation program will begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
You now sit in a satellite induction office of the Jejune Institute, located in the deep forests of San Francisco. The room in which you are currently located rests exactly 6 floors beneath our global headquarters. The California Center is one of many such stations spread around the globe, in locations such as Oslo, Seville, Algiers, Bombay, Quebec, and Santiago. But the origins of the Jejune Institute are right here. It all began in 1962, when a small group of academics came together around a common interest in the advancement of socio-reengineering. During the 60s, the society was a closely knit forum for experimental research techniques, utilized to expand interpersonal trust among fellow human subjects. During the 1970s, under the leadership of luminary metaphysicist Octavio Coleman Esquire, the Institute gained the wide influence and prestige for which it is now known. Along with contemporaries Werner Erhard and Stuart Emery, Coleman helped spearhead the still nascent movement of personal growth and self-help. The work they did collaboratively amid the breeding grounds of Est, Echelon, and Dianetics helped to spawn 1,000 like-minded prophets of pop psychology. But what the Jejune Institute is most celebrated for today are the many advanced technological products and services they have brought to the international marketplace. These developments include polywater, a more condensed form of water with a higher boiling point, a lower freezing point, and astounding regenerative properties upon all organic compounds. The Vital Orbit Human Force Field, a hydrodynamic conductor based upon the Tesla coil, which acts as an external ambassador to your body. And our Foremost project, which will utterly revolutionize the way that human beings interact both interpersonally and socio-politically. Jejune's algorithm, a small mobile device encasing a complex mathematical code that will instantly and permanently reduce all human conflict, violence, and heartbreak. Patent pending.
I will admit that, this was a rather bizarre experience, and I had no real clue that when I went down there, this would be what would be there. And then,
So I'm gonna break in here. Oh, Professor, we can hear the auto. I'm sorry. I couldn't see the chat. Okay. Sorry. Well, you heard the audio. I've shown this before and it was fine. Oh. Hold on. Let me. Well, what if I pipe it through OBS? What if I pipe it through OBS? Profile. Let's just and I'll just do desktop. Hold on. So I can do it another way too. I actually so you notice that this, if you're hearing it, that it's goofy, but somehow it's plausible that people might say, oh yeah, that's like, believe it. No, I have done this particular ARG, or at least this section of it. And so I have pictures of it. Hopefully. There we are. So, here we go. Well, browser games. Why wouldn't it be showing that? Games in Chrome. Okay, let's make a new scene. Should we make a new scene? Huh. Okay, well, let me share this with you. I've really, Amazon appears black on screen recording to prevent pirating. I did not know that. I swear I've last year I showed this exact same thing. Anyway, so that room that he said he went into, this is that room. There's a little monitor that shows you that video. When you go into the room, it starts. And this is the wall in that room, and there's a chair just below it where you're supposed to sit. There were 3 of us doing it, so I didn't get. I think I sat on the floor, and in the one of the drawers it said "Do not open." So of course we opened it, and inside, there were a bunch of cards that led us to a scavenger hunt. Hold on, let me set up a new scene and see if I can do this. Enter the name of the scene. Show movies on Zoom scene. Okay. And then I'm gonna get my source. I'm just gonna do display. And we're going to add the big monitor. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I am going to start virtual camera. Right. And then I am going to switch Zoom. Where is Zoom? Stop. I'm going to stop my video. And I am going to switch to the OBS virtual camera. And I'm going to start that video. Oh, look at this. Where there is a will. So now you can see my my display. Is that true? Can you all see my display? Yep, I could try different. Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to switch over to here. Oh, wow. It's black. I can see that it's black, but on the actual display, it's not black. Wow. How do they do that? Because I'm just taking the output from the display. different browsers, and some of them actually show. Okay. What if I did Edge? I'll probably have to log into. You've updated Microsoft Edge, so Amazon. Okay. I have to sign in here. Oh, you're going to be able to see. Well, it's tiny. I don't care. Password is incorrect. There we go. Okay. Now let's try to go to Prime Video again. Oh, shut up. And go to My Stuff and go to Purchases and Rentals, go to Movies, and go down to the Institute and try here. Let's stop it here. Let's try continue watching here. No, still black. Okay, well, just listen. I have one of these. Okay. Man, that's a bummer. I want to show you this other section too. So Edge doesn't work either. What could possibly work? Mozilla? Let's try Firefox. Although I haven't updated Firefox in forever. Not now. Amazon. Sign in. No, don't save. New. When you see the shield, Firefox is blocking parts of the page that can slow your browsing. Whatevs. Okay. Prime Video. Let's try it here. We can do this. The Expanse. Or not the Expanse, the Institute. Okay. What do you think? Is it going to do it? Ah! Yay, Mozilla.
Professor, we got no audio.
No audio. Okay. What if I share screen? Okay. No audio. How do we do that? No, okay. Wait. Desktop audio. Did you have audio before? You had audio before, right?
We did.
Full screen shares don't do audio generally. Okay. Let's try share screen. Let's try this. Share. Okay. Now, do you have video? You got to talk to me.
We do.
Okay. Tell me if you have audio.
We have audio.
Okay.
What happened next is, in following the card, I end up going on this very eccentric, hour-long, I guess you would say like a scavenger hunt sort of adventure. There were lots of unanswered questions. Who's behind this? Where is it leading? What's the point? And as it started to unfold, more and more things kind of came to light, especially things like new terminology. The word nonchalance was maybe being used in ways that hadn't really seen it used before. I guess I was afraid that at some point I would be marketed to. It'd be like, well,
Yes.
Thank you for, going through this thing. Buy Reese's peanut butter cups or something like that, But that never seemed to happen. In fact, the more I pull on threads, the more the lines are really blurred between what I viewed as the insanity I was kind of experiencing and the insanity of the real world. In fact, I would say that a lot of insanity you run into, it's insanity and you can set it over here. But the insanity that I was getting exposed to so much blurred the lines between real insanity and perhaps fake insanity that there was really no distinction. I think my eyes really were opening up, and seeing the world in a different way.
I felt like I've felt before when I was watching a movie and the movie ended and I left the movie theater and everything outside seems better than it did before that. Like the
Okay. So, so here we go on this, it was like an hour-long scavenger hunt kind of thing. In fact, I'm going to share this, share, boom. Still pictures from our little thing. We found you start looking for these little symbols. This entire piece of graffiti here is part of it. These are the two. I was at GDC. This is only playable in San Francisco. And these were two students at the time who are now gainfully employed. And we explored San Francisco. I took this picture years before this movie came out. There's that same, what looked like an electrical box. And inside it, there were all sorts of notes from previous people who had been there saying hello. There were all sorts of graffiti and stickers. Again, that's Greg, who you notice they stuck their visitor tags on. And these are all the graffiti that were there. This is this garden in the middle of San Francisco, on top of a parking garage. And on the back, this is the actual thing. But then this was apparently people who know Sun Yat-sen did not like this plaque and kept ripping it off, so they'd replace it. An actual brick and an actual wall was part of it. I don't remember. I think that's, yeah. And then I just started taking pictures of cool stuff. That's that building that you look at through a card, and that's the view of Coit Tower that you look at from this balcony. And then you go back, you have to sneak back in to that office building and find Cerberus, and we found him. And I don't remember what that was. There was also, oh, that was him taking pictures. That's his digital camera. This was before smartphones. And then we had to look in to this little peephole. And so I took pictures of what you see inside the peephole, which is this woman who is apparently missing. This is me trying to take pictures in this, and then it told us to go to Coit Tower. And Coit Tower was quite a ways away, and it said listen on FM station whatever 101.4 or whatever it was. And between us, we didn't have any way of getting a radio, right? We were all there for GDC. So that was the end of it for us. But there were, but that was essentially the introduction, to go up and hear this radio transmission. It was a low level, you had to be right around Coit Tower to even pick it up. So it was this mind-blowing thing, and all you wanted to do was, we were all like, let's keep doing this. Oh, we got to go back to GDC, and we're here for GDC, but we could keep doing this. And I'm like, maybe I could rent a car, I don't know, then we'd have an FM radio, we could drive to Coit Tower. And then I was like, that's crazy, that's way too much money for this. So that is one rabbit hole. So I understand that from your needs of like, hey, I want you to find us and somehow give us some information to say you are a player. But a rabbit hole is more than, hey, I'm doing a thing, come do it. It is your introduction to the players. And remember, it's an attract mode. You have to get them interested. So I'm going to go to YouTube. And I actually have here it is. Okay. And this is a totally different one. It's on YouTube, so I'm pretty sure I can share it with you. And this just went out one day, and it was one of the first. Oh, it's 3:45. Okay, I got to stop. So I will pick this up tomorrow. Ethan Rowe.
Hi.
Hi. Want to do anything? Want to talk to them? Want to make a meeting? Want to yell at them? I don't know.
Okay. So as you may have seen over the weekend, Ro created the email on the Google Drive. So on the Google Drive right now is a brainstorming and ideas doc. Feel free to put literally anything on there. There's only 9 days left until the ARG has to be discoverable, aka like the rabbit hole starting point. So it's best to get as many ideas as possible as soon as we can, and then to sit down and talk about it. Other than that, yeah, I guess we don't have a lot of time, so just start barfing out ideas.
Yeah, like these ideas can't be thought about over the week. It's like today and maybe tomorrow we put ideas, and then we start working on it tomorrow and Wednesday. Like this is going to be a very fast-paced thing.
Okay, one other thing. Why not? somebody in the other class, and I share information. I don't want to give more information to the other class than I give to you, but like when you ask a question in the next hour, I then say, hey, the other class asked a question. And when they ask a question, then it's days or they asked a question on Friday, and here we are. So the question came up about community managers and how it seemed like they don't have anything to do until the actual game. And that's not true. Community managers need to work with tech on both setting up the forum wherever everybody's going to meet and how that's going to work, what they need in terms of information from people to get in. They need again to work with tech and everybody about the rabbit hole to build a community. And then they also need you guys to put together they need to put together a schedule of some sort where everybody in the class signs up to play on one of the days. And then they know who's playing what days and who to talk to. They also need to work with how to onboard new people. So just like you, the other class is going to have every day, like on day 3, there's going to be new people who are saying, oh, I haven't played and I'm going to play today. What's happened? How do I get up to speed? So community managers, and this is true for every ARG, not just these ARGs, community managers need to have a way to onboard new people, even when it's in the middle, right? So I just found this and it's really cool. How do I play? What do I do? And there should be new here, read this. New here, watch this, right? So community managers don't say, oh, I don't have to do anything until everything's live. You've got plenty to do beforehand. Okay? That makes sense? Uh uh the big thing for y'all is it's all about the plan now, right? What are you doing and who's doing what when, and put together a schedule for how to get everything made that you need made. Anything else from Ro and Ethan or anybody else?
I have nothing else to say right now.
Okay. So I am in I'm in the Discord. I was popping in and out all weekend answering questions if people had questions. So just don't be shy. Also Varun will be around. Okay. Then I'm going to call it here. Let's see how bad a DMCA strike I get against this video on YouTube. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for coming. Sorry about the technical difficulties.